going on, Jerome? So this was one of those games where you feel kind of dirty at the end of it, and it kind of feels like a loss. You're not sure how to feel, but I don't know, like in the minutes afterwards, and now, like half an hour's passed, I'm just like, all right, it's tough to win a game in the National Football League. You do have to win in various ways, and yeah, it would have been nice to dump truck the Jaguars 52-3, but that wasn't in the cards. And the Vikings, they sacked up, especially on defense, especially along the offensive line, and they got a win on the road, which is tough to do in this league. And the fact that you won without scoring an offensive touchdown, that's difficult. It's difficult. But the Vikings do indeed get it done. Defense coming up with three turnovers late, which was the huge difference. And yeah. So we got the winners and losers from the game. Number one, John Parker Romo. That's right. JPR getting it done, 4 for 4 on field goals, including a long of 45. Now, it wasn't always easy. That third one just sort of snuck in that right upright, but he was put in a difficult spot. So, I mean, new long snapper, Ryan Wright had to corral a couple of errant snaps, but Romo did the damn thing, and he was taking over a guy in Will Rockard, who the fan base already loves, and it was a difficult situation. And in a game where the offense just simply could not put the ball in the end zone, Parker Romo was the offense, and he looked good doing it, man. So props to him. And also, I hope that when Riker gets back, that Romo finds himself another job, because he deserves it, and he has shown that he could play on this level. The Flores Hellfire defense is back, baby. Carried this team for 2 weeks in a row. Jaguars and Mac Jones, 143 total yards of offense, 3 turnovers, and outside that touchdown drive, it really was nothing. Nunca, which you love to see. Hockenson, baby. So second game back, 8 for 72 on 9 targets. He was just a third down merchant. All he does is catch first downs on third down. Had 4 in one drive, which is amazing, man. Cameron Beasley Bynum sealing the game with that last interception. Did the ray gun dance. Now, was that the interception or / turnover dance that he was talking about from weeks ago? Like, was that the big one? I don't know. Cashman outside, how about that? Good to see him back from that toe. Now, he did miss a drive early on. We're just like, oh, here we go. But came back, finished strong, had himself a sack, 5 tackles as well, 2 tackles for loss. And frankly, the defense just looked really, really damn good today, and Cashman is a huge part of that. Should have had a second sack, except now they're finally calling face masks on quarterbacks. Weird. Byron Murphy Jr., the other one. So all he does is catch interceptions late. That's what he does, man. Andrew Van Ginkel sniffing out screens, got himself a sack as a free rusher as well. 3 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. I think that AVG should be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. I do truly believe that, but we'll see what happens going forward. But the Vikings front 7 at full strength. I mean, you certainly have something going there. Josh Oliver had a great one-handed catch, also 4 catches for 52 on 6. He and TJ Hockenson are truly forming the best tight end duo in the National Football League right now. And as we talked about, the Vikings running 12 personnel, it is a natural mismatch for defenses, and they can match up with whatever you want to do. Play base, we'll throw. Go nickel sub-package, we're going to run the ball. And the fact that Oliver is a viable receiving threat as well as with Hockenson, that's a great competitive advantage. Harrison Phillips doing the Lord's work, stopping the run, as well as coming up with that Mac Jones fumbled snap, which is great. Really got the momentum going in the Vikings' favor. Josh Metellus. So, as we said, like, Metellus isn't putting up the eye-popping stats, but he's doing so many things that affect the defense. I did have 5 tackles on the day, great with some run fills as well. Stephon Gilmore, I believe that's Mr. Gilmore's. I mean, Gilly's tackling, which is a thing that he's not really known for. Like, it's really been good over the last couple of weeks. A couple big open field tackles, 5 total on the game, as well as the offensive line run blocking. I mean, the run blocking was overall good. And even though Cam Robinson had some rough reps, I mean, pass blocking was pretty damn solid as well. But for the run, 4.2 yards per carry for the running backs. Now, I know in the grand scheme of things, that's not great. But in terms of when the Vikings had some series where they had to have positive yards in the run game, they got it. Especially the interior was moving things around for the Vikings against the Jaguars. Also, Darnold was only sacked once in a spot where he could not take a sack. But also, there was some pressure on him, but it wasn't overwhelming. Like, when we go back and look at the numbers, I would wager that Darnold was under duress less than 35% of his snaps, which it's really frustrating because the more time he has back there, the more time he hangs on the ball, and then he just makes a bad decision at times. It's rough. Ivan Pace Jr. got himself a sack, plus flying around 5 tackles as well. It's great to have Pace and Cashman healthy at the same time. Jonathan Grenard, again, so many games that Jonathan Grenard dominates, but he just doesn't light up the stat box. But pressures, run fits, setting the edge, and 5.8's a problem, man. Love it. Also, over 6.5 win bettors. We are there. Now, if you were smart, you got in early at 5.5, but 6.5 wins will take it at 7-2. Who would have knew? Losers on the day, Sam Darnold interceptions. And what's frustrating is that it's just being overly aggressive. And same thing with his 2 interceptions against the Colts. Just trying to make something happen, trying to score 10 points on every drop back, which you're not going to do. And all 3 of his interceptions were forced to Justin Jefferson. All 3 of them were in Jaguars territory, taking points off the board. You can't have that. And don't want to talk down to the Jaguars and the Colts, but if Darnold has these types of games against Tier 1 competition, the Vikings are going to get smoked. Can't have that. But it is a balance and dichotomy because you do want Darnold to stay aggressive, attacking vertically downfield to Jefferson and Addison. But, I mean, Hockenson is back for a reason. Oliver is developed as a weapon for a reason. Aaron Jones underneath is open for a reason. Take what is there. Don't make the stupid mistake. Calculated risks. That's what we need. Cam Robinson. Yeah. All right, so Cam Robinson, I know, was emotional. The homecoming game, there's some bad blood there, but had the false start. A couple of not so great reps against Josh Hines-Allen where, 41 got the best of him. Right. Also a personal foul as well on the sidelines, which really helped out on the second interception return. I don't know, but better days will be ahead for 7-4, but he was the weak spot along the offensive line this week. Also, pre-snap penalties crept back in. False start, illegal formation on Cam Robinson, wiped out a big third down conversion in the red zone. So, they have cleaned things up a bit, but it's not sparkly clean. Still a long ways to go for this team. Also, Kevin O'Connell's situational play calling. Overall, it's been good and getting better. So this is sort of nitpicking, but the speedy nailer reverse, if it worked out, it would have been great, but it didn't, so it's not. As well as the 3rd and 1 throw late, which essentially took you out of field goal range. But you have to know your man. Like, you have to know that Darnold takes bad sacks, and you have to relay right away as like, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot take a sack here. So move in the pocket and throw it away if you have to. Let's live to fight another day, but they didn't do it. And that was the only sack of the day. And then lastly, the refs. So as we said, you have to play better than the refs ref, but especially the first half, the Jaguars got away with just completely mugging Jefferson and Addison on the outside. And also the ruled the end zone catch, which the second interception that clearly was not clearly that hit the ground. Defensive holding on every single play, like we said. They picked up that flag where Oliver was clearly interfered with, but I don't know. Like, it did seem like the officiating was trying to interject themselves into the narrative too much. Like, they're trying to be the main character, even though they're not NPCs. So, I don't know. But either way, like, it's one of those games where it's good to get a win. It's great that the defense looked fantastic. It's good that the offense, basically the entire offense outside of Darnold's dumb decisions looked pretty good. And you can take solace in that. They had 400 yards of offense, 169 on the ground. Nice, right? But getting a win where you didn't score an offensive touchdown or any touchdown, yeah. I guess it's nice, but you can't have that. The Titans are looking good against the Chargers as we speak, and you can't bring that next week. Or the Bears are looking to get back off the mat, or especially late in the season. You can't have this type of game against the Packers or the Lions, and probably not the Falcons or the Seahawks, man. So there's a lot to clean up. But 7-2 is 7-2. You are what your record says you are, and let's keep getting after things and stay undefeated in November, which the Vikings have to do to try and keep pace with the Lions, and hopefully they can slip up a time or two. Texans 1 time. C.J. Stroud 1 time. Nico Collins 1 time. That's it. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Winners and losers from Vikings 12, Jaguars 7. Mercifully. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts. You know what to do. Skull production value.